Don't forget about that subscription button. Dun, 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 dun. The guy is floating. Yeah, so that's what we did in the last tutorial. We cut this guy out, and then we went ahead and tracked him on into the scene. This next tutorial that we're in right now, we're going to cut out this door, track that out, so he is actually comped into this room. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and comp a GMask onto the guy here by selecting him and then applying the GMask right to him with him selected. Right now it's defaulted to draw shape tool right when you open it up. So let's go ahead and zoom on in so we can draw this door. Let's go to frame number 1, just so it makes this a little easier. Okay, so we're gonna go here. There we go. Okay, let's add some points. Transparency, there we go. Let's rack that down for a second. Okay, so go ahead and back to N. A, actually, to add a point. I'm gonna zoom in here. That looks like that's okay. We'll zoom in, add a point right there. And I think that is gonna be just fine. That looks like it. Let's do M. Just kind of bring that out just a skosh. There we go. Space A to zoom on out. Let's go ahead and choose our current node in space A. That kind of see how that is. Let's go ahead and track this on in. We're going to utilize the tracker within this access. Let's click on the tracker. Let's just do a single point track. We're going to track directly onto this door. Let's go ahead and choose media of number 1, which is our backplate. Number 1 backplate. Go ahead and hit enter. Oh, look at that. We got great little tracking points here. Oh, how about this little guy? Go ahead and make sure it's forward. Tolerance 100%, it's totally fine. We'll hit analyze on that. While this is tracking, we're just kind of taking a look to see if it's drifting, which it looks like it is. Wow, it's drifting really bad. Okay, spacebar that. We're going to hit reset all. Let's go to the very beginning. Let's grab a different point. Let's grab one of these points. Maybe those bigger points would be a little bit better. Let's go ahead and analyze that. Let's go ahead and click here, hit reset all. Let's try that again. That's still not looking good. Let's find something a little bit more contrasty. Maybe one of these corners here. And hit analyze on that. That seems to be holding a lot better. Just didn't like the lack of contrast in those little chips in the door. You know, what we could do is we could have brought in a color corrector and then just made that more contrasty. There we go. Okay, that's enough. We're going to go through and delete all these keyframes here. There we go. So there's the last keyframe. We're going to hit delete key, move back a frame by clicking the left arrow on your keyboard. Delete back, do this. Okay. Let's track in our guy. Let's go ahead and double click on our access. Go to the tracker tab and use media of 1. That's our backplate. Enter the tracker. Let's go ahead and find a good little spot. This little edge right there. How about that? We're just going to kind of narrow up our little search window here. There we go. Let's go ahead and analyze forward. And then right there, we're just going to stop. Now let's go back a couple frames, actually that frame right there, and click delete key, back a frame by clicking the left arrow button on your keyboard. Delete key, delete key, delete key, delete key, and there we are. Let's go ahead and return out of that. Let's double click on our guy, choose access, go to adjust offset. What we're watching is this GMask on the door. Let's just kind of see how it's doing. Oh, it's kind of floating and getting out of whack there. Man, it's really off. But that's a pretty easy fix. So what we're going to do to fix that is go back to where it starts drifting off. So we're really concerned about this hard line right here. We want that to really match up nicely. So let's go to here where it drifts, jump on into our GMask. and press A to add a point. I'm just going to drag that in, press M to select and move points. There we go. Go into Auto Key and make sure you're doing that. So there's that. Let's go back to this frame 1. Very important to turn on Auto Key. Okay, let's step to the next frame. So this little button right here, that steps between frames. That one goes back between frames. Now we're going to scrub along, see where it starts drifting again. There it is. Let's go ahead and just kind of tweak that on in. Looks like here again. Tweak him on in. There we go. Let's scroll. Looks like he's really falling off here. Let's scroll some more. I'm sure there's probably a better way of doing this. If you guys know, please leave a comment. There's probably some like seasoned veterans out there watching these tutorials and just like, what is this guy doing? There's so much easier ways of doing this, bud. Bud. Brah. 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 Okay, so let's go back in here to where he's half and half. And let's go ahead and get this GMask working out just fine. So we're going to do that and hit the invert button. Okay, so let's get a G-Link. And then there we have it. Bum's your uncle. So we got that piece all tracked in. Guys comped into that room very nicely now. Starts getting revealed. There he is. So in the next tutorial, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into getting this guy comped in. Let's check that out in the next one. The Mumbler. Go to Spotify, Apple Music, anything. Fade to Black. Check out my band. Hey, if you guys like these tutorials, please subscribe and click the bell if you want to get notified. Tons more tutorials coming up.